Hi, everybody. Thank you very much. I'm Orlando Ruiz Jr., and welcome to another classic movie review. This is my review of an action thriller from 1987, Lethal Weapon. This movie stars Mel Gibson and Danny Glover in the roles of Sergeant Martin Riggs and Detective Sergeant Roger Murtaugh. This was directed by the late Richard Donner, who directed some of my favorite movies like 1978 Superman, the horror classic The Omen from 1976, the original. He also directed one of my all-time favorites, The Goonies, Scrooged with Bill Murray, which I watch every Christmas season. I think he also directed movies like 16 Blocks and Assassins. I always enjoy a good action comedy. I always enjoy a good buddy adventure movie. Movies like Midnight Run or 48 Hours or Bad Boys or Rush Hour. And I think what really makes those kind of movies all the more enjoyable is when you have characters that you can root for and that you really like. Lethal Weapon has some great characters and gives them a lot of fun dialogue all throughout the movie. Mel Gibson and Danny Glover are great together. After the opening credits in the very following scene, we meet Danny Glover's character Roger Murtaugh for the first time as he is taking a bath, and it's his 50th birthday, so his kids and his wife bust in on him with a birthday cake and surprise him. It's a nice little moment and a great way to meet the family. We see that he is a family man with three kids and a wife and a big house, and then we see Mel Gibson's character waking up in his home. He lives in a trailer in another part of town, and he lives by the beach basically, and wakes up with a cigarette in his mouth and a beer in his hand. Both of these guys have their differences, but of course they end up getting paired together to work as partners. And it's a classic odd couple situation because you have the old timer, the veteran that likes to dress in suits and look more kind of respectable and professional, and he has like a six shooter Smith and Western, kind of an older gun. And then you have the younger guy who's more of a wild card, loose cannon that wears jeans and a flannel shirt and looks kind of scruffy, unshaven, and likes to use a 9mm Beretta. Mel Gibson's character, Martin Riggs, is one of my favorite characters in action films. He is tons of fun to watch on the screen. They give him some of the best dialogue, and he's basically an I don't give a damn kind of guy because, he's a bit nutty because he's had some trauma and he has kind of a tragic backstory. When it comes to action, there are some great moments in Lethal Weapon. There's some pretty good fights and some nice hand-to-hand combat, some explosions and stunts and chases and all of that. But my favorite scene in the entire film isn't an action scene. It's a scene where Danny Glover's character Roger invites Mel Gibson's character Martin to have dinner at his home with his family. There is just something very heartwarming about that scene, given that by that point we have learned about Mel Gibson's character's tragic backstory, and seeing him spend time with his family like he's a part of the family. It is a heartwarming moment in this action film full of explosions and gunfights and all that, which is kind of weird that it works, but all the more just lets you know what a great filmmaker Richard Donner was. As the two partners continue to work together, there is a mutual respect that begins to build through their experiences in different dangerous situations, and out of the outcome of those situations, there is a bond that begins to build, and it's a great thing to see unfold, and it feels very genuine because the performances are that good between Danny Glover and Mel Gibson. We have some great bad guys in this film. There is a great climactic fight between Mel Gibson and the main henchman played by Gary Busey. Gary Busey is a beast in this movie. He is not to be messed with, and the final fight between Gibson and Busey is a great scene. Because this movie takes place during the Christmas season, there is great Christmas atmosphere all throughout the film, with many locations having all kinds of Christmas decorations peppered around. You'll see a lot of Christmas lights and trees every now and then, and Christmas music playing in the background, and the movie even starts and ends with a Christmas song. Now, I'm not saying that this is a Christmas film like Die Hard. Die Hard is definitely a Christmas classic, but Lethal Weapon, though I don't consider it a Christmas action film like Die Hard, still has those vibes. It still has that kind of Christmassy atmosphere at times, and so yeah, it takes place during this holiday season, but still I wouldn't call it a Christmas film because Christmas has nothing to do with the plot. It's just kind of there in the background. There are a lot of fun moments to watch out for all throughout this film. The first time that we see Riggs in action is a great scene where we see him undercover trying to bust some guys that are trying to sell drugs from a Christmas tree lot. That's a lot of fun. There's also a moment where Riggs and Murtaugh show up to a call of a suicide jumper, and Riggs has to go up to the ledge and talk him down. That's also a lot of fun. And there's a great moment where we see Riggs and Murtaugh trying to get information from a bunch of little kids that are witnesses to something and trying to find out about a suspect. Nice bits of comedy in there. The music score in this film is exceptional. It's one of the great action movie music scores of the 80s. You have a collaboration between the great late Michael Kamen, who worked on The Karate Kid, and he also did the music for Hudson Hawk and Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. He's one of my favorite composers of this era. And you also have the great Eric Clapton, one of the greatest musicians ever, who provides a lot of the guitar riffs throughout the film whenever we see Martin Riggs, Mel Gibson's character, on screen. And yeah, the music is on point all throughout this film. This movie was written by the great Shane Black, whose personality and sense of humor are stamped all throughout this film, just like movies like The Long Kiss Goodnight or The Last Boy Scout or Iron Man 3 or Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. If you're familiar with Shane Black, then you know he has a particular kind of sensibility and style, and it's all over Lethal Weapon. Because of a great script, stellar direction from Richard Donner, terrific performances from Mel Gibson and Danny Glover and everybody else involved, great action, fun dialogue, this is a classic that is not to be missed. For action fans or 80s fans, whatever, Lethal Weapon is a 4-star gem. This is a movie I'm sure you can find on streaming. Since it is a Warner Brothers film, more than likely you'll find it on Max. But you know me, I gotta have my hard copies. This is my copy of the movie on Blu-ray in a box set of all 4 films. This is the Lethal Weapon collection, 1 through 4. And these movies are a lot of fun. I will eventually talk about the sequels since I enjoy all the films. And there are rumors of a 5th movie, but I'm kind of hoping that one doesn't happen, just because the 4th one wrapped it up so beautifully, in my opinion. But if it comes out, more than likely, I'm gonna watch it, since I'll watch anything. If they come out with a Rambo 17, I'm there. So Lethal Weapon 5, you come out with it, I'll be there. Thank you very much for watching this classic movie review. I always appreciate it. If you're into this kind of thing, if you're into classic movies and you're new to the channel, hit the bell, become a subscriber. If you're a returning viewer, thank you very much for watching. I always appreciate your support. Please don't forget to comment, share, like if you feel like it. Always helps out the channel. And don't forget to look out for the next classic movie review. Appreciate it. Take care of each other. Till next time. Thanks.